Good evening. I'm Amy Murphy from WTVO Fox 39, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 2024 Excalibur and Excelsior Awards ceremony, celebrating the best and brightest in Northern Illinois. We are so excited to welcome our guests from throughout the region. I see Lena is very well represented up here in the front. We're thrilled to have you with us for what's already been a very festive evening. This room is literally surrounded by the names and stories of 50 years of award recipients, a history which we'll be adding to tonight. This night would not have been possible without the generosity and support of our sponsors. The event presenting sponsor, Schmaling Construction, media sponsor, WTVO Fox 39, Friends of Excalibur and Excelsior, Six Finger Tattoo, AGHL Law, Fair Graham, Northwest Bank, Ron Kluwer, and Studio GWA. We also would like to thank tonight's award sponsors, Field Fastener, Byron Bank, First Staffing, Larson and Darby Group, and Members Alliance Credit Union. This will be an evening full of stories and the best of our community that we have to offer. Please welcome Karina Curry, News Director of the Rockford Register-Star and Freeport Journal-Standard. She'll be talking about the enduring legacy of this award. Also, Dan Ross, President of the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois, and Pam Clark-Reidenbach, President and CEO of Northern Illinois Center for Nonprofit Excellence.
Thank you, Mimi. Good evening. I'm Karina Curry, the News Director of the Rockford Register-Star and Freeport Journal-Standard. I've been part of the Excalibur and Excelsior Awards throughout my career at the Register-Star. The awards were created as a way to recognize individuals and organizations that strengthen our communities, working hard to create a healthier, more resilient, and vibrant Northern Illinois. From 1971 to 2021, the Register-Star managed the award and planned the ceremonies on our own, though we would argue that the awards really belonged to the community, and we were just the facilitators. It just makes sense for the awards to be a partnership with participation from all corners of the region. That partnership came to fruition in 2023 with the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois and Northern Illinois Center for Nonprofit Excellence joining forces with the Register-Star to reinvigorate the awards. The result is this celebration. Being in this room with all of you, honoring the people and organizations that do so much to make Rockford a community of caring and giving is what this night is all about. So welcome to Excalibur Excelsior 2024. We're working together using the very best of what each of our organizations do to honor the very best of what you do.
Good evening. I'm Pam Clark-Reidenbach. I'm the CEO of the Northern Illinois Center for Nonprofit Excellence, more fondly known as NICNE. We are thrilled to be working with our community partners to bring these awards to life. NICNE's been building the management capacity of the sector and promoting, modeling, and growing innovation and excellence and social impact for 20 years because we believe nonprofits are the soul of our community, and their staff and volunteers embody the best in service. Nonprofits address social challenges, promote equity, and drive positive change by providing critical services, advocating for causes, mobilizing communities, promoting cultural understanding, and contributing to a more inclusive and compassionate world. NICNE was founded on the principle that no community can survive without a thriving nonprofit sector. I'd like to take a few seconds really to acknowledge my board of directors and the NICNE staff who guide NICNE's work. Would NICNE's board and staff please stand, wave, or jump up and down? I've had the privilege of spending my career among the many, many wonderful organizations and individuals who have been honored by these awards in the past. They represent the best of our community. People who devote their time and talents to make our community a fabulous place to work, live, and play. Since the first awards were presented in 1971, just over 100 individuals and organizations have been acknowledged for contributions to our community. And I'd like to recognize them again tonight. Can I have all past winners in the room stand for a well-deserved round of applause? Congratulations, everyone, and thank you again for all you do for our community.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dan Ross, and I'm the president of the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois. And for those of you that know me, I am so nervous with public speaking, but it helps so much to see our friends down here in the Wizard of Oz costume. So I can't tell you how much pressure that takes off of me because it puts such a smile on my face. I want to take a moment tonight to recognize a key group of individuals whose work behind the scenes is perhaps the hardest of all, and that's our selection committee. They are an amazing group of people representing many different areas of our community and who reviewed all 25 plus nominations before participating in a very thorough and spirited meeting to make the final decisions. I had the great good fortune of sitting in on that meeting, and I cannot imagine the difficulty of the task that they had before them. Those decisions that they had to make were virtually impossible. Of all the great work being done in Northern Illinois, how do you pick one, or in this case 6, to recognize publicly? So I want to thank those of you that participated for their diligence and thoughtfulness in making the process as fair and transparent as possible. Hope you could join me in a round of applause for the selection committee. So when we envisioned the next evolution of Excalibur and Excelsior Awards, we felt it was only right to expand the scope to include the entire Northern Illinois region, specifically Boone, Ogle, Stephenson, and Winnebago counties. Members of all 4 communities can be nominated for the Excalibur and Excelsior Awards, but we also wanted to make sure that we highlighted the good work happening in all corners of our region. To that end, the 2nd annual Community Champion Awards recognize impact by an individual, group, or organization in each county and highlight the service that's being done on a truly local scale. Presenting the awards for Boone, Ogle, Stephenson counties are the directors of organizations located in and serving those specific geographies. Each of these women was on a board from the start and helped expand our reach, reintroducing Excalibur and Excelsior to their respective constituents. Would you please join me in thanking them? And now it is my pleasure to welcome the Executive Director of the Boone County Community Foundation, Melissa Erickson, who is going to announce our first community champion.
Thank you, Dan. I just want to take a brief moment to extend my gratitude to Dan and the entire Community Foundation and Northern Illinois staff, Pam, Billy with Nickney, and of course Karina with the Rockford Register-Star, not only for putting together this amazing celebration, but also having the thoughtfulness to include the outlying counties. They're wonderful neighbors, and they're incredible to work alongside. And any chance that we get to share the great work that's happening in Boone County, we're excited to do so. So it's an honor to be here with all of you tonight and to be in such great company. The 2024 Boone County Community Champion Award winner had simple beginnings. The nonprofit that had distributed more than 600,000 diapers to local families in need in the past 6 years was founded in a woman's garage. Anna Pavoris of Belvedere saw a need. she learned that diapers, something new moms and dads need in abundance, are not covered by standard state and federal programs, and finding them through local programs and services proved to be inconsistent. Anna knew our community could do better, and she set out to make a difference. Today, the baby bank supplies much needed diapers, wipes, hygiene products, clothing, blankets, and other items needed in the care of children ages birth to 4. The organization supplies items to local food pantries, as well as Rockford's Family Peace Center, and holds monthly distributions of its own at Zion Lutheran Church. The baby bank is 100% volunteer run and virtually no overhead expenses and with no paid staff. All of the donations the baby bank receives goes towards the purchase of those diapers and supplies that go to parents and grandparents in need, and sometimes to survivors of partner violence. Family Police Center Client Services Manager Megan Brachon shared, protecting and caring for their children is one of the many reasons survivors will leave their relationships. However, sometimes the lack of resources when they leave to support their efforts is what will force them to go back. In Boone and Winnebago counties, the baby bank fills the gaps and helps to provide support to survivors and struggling parents in need to make ends meet. So please join me in congratulating the recipient of the 2024 Boone County Champion Award to the baby bank.
Thank you guys so much. Melissa really said it all. That was our story in a nutshell, and this award means absolutely the world to us. Like Melissa said, this organization started as a pile of diapers in my garage, much to my husband's chagrin. So now we're here and serving as many people as we possibly can with the resources we have. Like Melissa said, we're up to 625,000 diapers given out since 2018. So we're just, thank you. Thank you. And this is Mandy, our executive director, and Bob, our treasurer. And I would like to take just a moment to say a special thank you to Bob, because he has been the driving force behind this since day one. So I am so thankful. We wouldn't be here without these two people right here. So thank you again. Thank you to everyone who put on this absolutely beautiful event tonight, and thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Emily Anaya. I am the Executive Director of the Rochelle Area Community Foundation, and we represent Ogle County. I feel like I like the Wizard of Oz. This is great. Focal point. Yes, good. Thanks. I kind of feel like Melissa came in as the house decorated for Christmas, and I am the neighbor that said ditto. We're truly grateful for everybody and for all of you people in here. Very humbling to see all the service and volunteerism that's all in one room today. So thank you to all of our past and current winners of the Excalibur Excelsior. So when we think of community champions, it's hard not to think about educators. Like caregivers and nonprofits providing much needed service, educators play a crucial role in the well-being of any community. Education unlocks countless opportunities, and educators are the guiding force, enabling the next generation to gain the knowledge and skills needed to support themselves and their families. Educators are school leaders, and they are community leaders. In some cases, like the case of PJ Caposey of Ogle County, They are leaders in multiple communities. This year's Ogle County Community Champion leads 2 school districts in Ogle County. The Meridian School District, headquartered in Stillman Valley, and the Oregon School District in Oregon, which my children attend. In 2017, Caposey was named Regional Superintendent of the Year, and in 2023, he was named the Illinois State Superintendent of the Year, and he was a finalist for the National Superintendent of the Year. Yeah, big. Yeah. But it's what Caposey does outside of his role as superintendent that brings him to our attention tonight. Caposey serves as a coach for numerous school leaders across Illinois. He's a Lions Club member and a coach for youth sports for the Oregon Park District. He's an author and a speaker and serves on several advisory boards. He is known across the country for his expertise in educational leadership, educational advancements, and innovations. For Caposey, it all originates from the dedication to the children of these communities and their futures. Please join me in congratulating Oregon and Meridian School District Superintendent P.J. Caposey as the 2024 Ogle County Community Champion Award recipient.
Good evening. I was really hoping the first group wasn't going to talk. In the emails back and forth, it was if the first group doesn't talk, then no one's going to, but here we are. So I want to thank the Community Foundation. As we talk about education, it's impossible to talk about education in our region without the impact the Community Foundation has and plays with incredibly generous grants and multiple grant opportunities to support schools. So both districts that I represent have been very fortunate to be recognized by the Community Foundation and receive grants. Recently, Oregon just received a nearly $50,000 grant to help our students who are struggling in math over the summer. So thank you to the Community Foundation. In order to lead 2 districts, that means you need 2 incredible bosses, and both of mine happen to be here tonight to support me. So thank you very much to John Smith and to Dr. Brian Wills, who serve as board presidents, who I can't explain as someone who works. I think all of us know what our relationships are like with our boss, but to have bosses who truly root for your success and support you means a ton, and I have that in both districts, and on top of that, I get to call, hopefully, in my eyes, I get to call both of them friends, and so it means the world to me. So thank you to Brian and to John, and thank you to Brian for being here on his birthday to support me. So it was thank you for doing that. Happy birthday, Brian. And a quick thank you to my family. I am someone who doesn't lack for ambition or drive, and I have a support system in place, particularly with my wife, Jackie, who supports me in everything that I do and allows me to chase my dreams. So thank you. And to Jameson, Jackson, Caroline, and Anthony, I am so proud to be your dad. I love you guys.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle DeHaven-Quast, and I am the CEO of the Foundation for Northwest Illinois. Your neighbors just to the west, based in Freeport, and proudly serving the counties of Stephenson, Joe Davies, and Carroll for over 50 years. I too, as long as everybody else is doing this, I'm going to join the choir and thank the Dan and Pam and everyone involved with tonight's event for including us. We're very honored to be here. The winners of the 2024 Stephenson County Community Champion Award celebrated 75 years this year, and they did it the same way they do everything else, with and for the community. They held an open house and served food and shared memories. They invited the community to come and learn more about what they do to make their community a better place. The Lena Lions Club was chartered on June 22nd, 1949. The club built Lena's Lions Park and recently added playground equipment for smaller children and children with disabilities. The club added more playground equipment to Pole Hill Park and has been helping with the upkeep of the Lena Community Center. The motto of the Lena Lions Club is "We Serve." Club members have been living that motto for 75 years and counting, throwing holiday parties for local children, picking up litter, providing scholarships for graduating seniors, and helping to send athletes to state championship games. They help children attend Camp Lions, a special camp for children with vision and hearing impairments, and they also help people in need buy glasses. They raise money for gift cards for people in need, collect socks, gloves, and hats to help people stay warm in the winter. They hold a bike and pet parade each summer that doubles as a way to raise awareness about the importance of exercise. The Lena Lions Club and its 84 members wear their service with pride, always looking for places and ways that they can have a positive impact on their community. In recognition of that and the service that they do for the community of Lena, please join me in congratulating the Lena Lions Club, the winner of the 2024 Stephenson County Community Championship Award.
I'm not a very good speaker either, but thank you for nominating us. It's a very good honor. They'll let you be a part of it. If it wouldn't be for all the members behind us and the ones that couldn't make it tonight, it just helps keeps the community going, and we just keep striving for more to help the blind or anybody that needs glasses or hearing, and that's what we do to help the people that are in need. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, isn't this fun? Wow. Jennifer neglected to tell me that I could say a few words before I gave the scripted thing, so as president of the board of the Community Foundation, I just want to say thank you to all the staff for your incredible work tonight. And it actually goes way beyond tonight. This has been in the works since, let me think, a year ago. So thank you all, and all the volunteers also that helped set this up and make this happen. So, when you take a look across the globe today, there are many things that make great communities. And a lot of things that they have in common, the great communities have in common: strong business sector, safe neighborhoods, good schools, and in many cases, a thriving arts community. The arts bring culture, economic development, excitement, opportunities, pride, and entertainment. It also brings visitors and helps communities develop their sense of place. In Pecatonica, Illinois, there is the Pecatonica Playhouse Theater has done all of these things and then some, and I bet you can't guess who they are. The Playhouse opened in 1991, and keep in mind, Pecatonica has a few more than 2,000 population, so it's not a huge community. But for the last 3 decades, the Playhouse has put on shows year-round, over 1,000 performances. The theater also has collaborated with local high schools and hosted children's theater camps. Then disaster struck. In 2021, the roof of their playhouse collapsed, leaving the Peck Playhouse without a home. Through the commitment and hard work and unwavering desire to bring the Peck Playhouse back to life, the board bought a new building down the street and started raising funds to reopen the theater. Meanwhile, the theater refused to go blank or go dark and still puts on shows at nearby schools and churches. A 2022 economic and social impact study put the patron, volunteer, and operational impact of the theater at a staggering $9.2 million since its inception. Today, the Playhouse, though, is still without a permanent home. It continues to put on shows and raise money for themselves, local charities, and other causes as they work to reopen. It brings me great pleasure to recognize the Pecatonica Playhouse Theater as the winner of the 2024 Community Champion Award for Winnebago County. Congratulations, Pecatonica Playhouse. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Might want to hold on.
Hold on, madam.
Yep.
Sit up here. Come on, get in here. Get in here. Good evening. My name is Glenn Wiegert. I'm president of the board of directors here at Peck Playhouse Theater. Like every other theater venue or public place in 2020, we shuttered our doors not knowing whether we would ever have another show to put on. And unfortunately, a lot of small community theaters didn't survive that. But you look at this group behind me, we said the show's got to go on. So we've been doing shows for over 34 years, 34 seasons, right? Am I reading that right? So, and like you said, in May of this year, we purchased another building only a block away from our current spot where our building was condemned and demolished. And since then, on December 1st, we have launched a capital campaign to renovate another building in downtown Pecatonica. And we've already raised over $250,000 for it. Thank you. If you need any more information, talk to the Wicked Witch. She's the one in charge. And as he said, we've been putting on shows in rented spaces around our community. And as a matter of fact, if you're interested, we have 3 shows of the Christmas Carol going on at the United Methodist Church this weekend. Check our website for ticket prices and show times. And we are very proud as a group. We have a strong core of support. Our volunteers are not quite normal, so you can see it. And we are very proud to get this award, and I'd like to thank the committee, the selection committee, and everybody involved. Thank you very much. And I'm no wizard, but we're going to follow that yellow brick road until we get a new building.
Oh, what an act to follow, huh? Oh. So Nickney's excited to be working with the Community Foundation and the Rockford Register Star to reinstate and reinvigorate the Excalibur and the Excelsior Awards. We are proud to uplift the tremendous work and value of the sector through the collaboration. As you know, nonprofits embody the best of our community. Nonprofits give shape to our boldest dreams, highest ideals, and noblest causes. They feed, heal, shelter, educate, inspire, enlighten, and nurture people of every age, gender, race, and socioeconomic status. They foster civic engagement and leadership, drive economic growth, and strengthen the fabric of our communities every single day. Our communities are stronger, healthier, and more vibrant thanks to countless people who give back, and the organizations and the people they employ who devote their lives to serving our communities day in and day out. A robust nonprofit sector is essential for a strong community. Holding up and recognizing this impact is one way that we can thank individuals and organizations for the significant role they play in our communities. And that is why the Excelsior Award is given to an exemplary nonprofit organization in our community. Excelsior means ever higher, and every finalist since 1979, including those we're celebrating tonight, have wholly embodied this concept. Their missions may be different, but their commitment to accomplishing that mission is outstanding. They make our community stronger, healthier, and more vibrant because of their passion and tireless efforts. So here are the stories of tonight's 3 finalists.
They just started walking, in a line down the big old hallway of the old post office building, and then they turned their heads and started coming in. Oh, like this, and then they started doing things, like a sand pendulum. And did you see this? Did you see this? A balloon rocket, simple things, but not anything that they had experienced. So that was really fun.
We moved across the parking lot from the Armory. Oh my gosh. The happiness that we had our own place finally. It was just amazing. When we finally opened to the public, oh my gosh, it was so fun, so much excitement, and just what we were gonna have for the future for our community.
We wanted to bring in things that they couldn't see anywhere else. We couldn't always afford to bring in traveling exhibits, but that was the goal, was to be as dynamic as possible so that we would hopefully touch lots of different people, lots of different generations.
I think we have a privilege every single day to bring joy to children and families. We are a children's museum which focuses on STEM, so we have a lot of great interactive science exhibits, but one of the things I hear from families coming through the museum almost every single day with their very tired children is that we didn't get to see everything. We have over 300 hands-on interactive exhibits. We encourage kids to get messy and to use their hands and use their minds and have an amazing time exploring and learning. Everyone finds Discovery Center to be very special. When I speak to grandparents and parents who are in the museum now, we have parents coming in with their children who remember coming to Discovery Center when they were a child on a field trip or with their parents. So I think that we just have this incredible legacy in the community.
We worked so hard to get where we are today, and when you see the happiness of people that come in there, it's a joy. I mean, it makes you feel so good.
When we were selected as one of the top 10 children's museums in the United States, I could overhear people bragging about that because it was theirs. It was never mine, it was always theirs. So that, I hope, will always continue, that people are proud of a place that, again, they feel safe, they feel comfortable, they're having fun, and they want to go back. Or when their family's coming from Minnesota, the first thing those grandchildren want to do is go to the Discovery Center. So that's a good feeling.
Audrey was 5 when she passed away in 2023. She was just a kiddo who was full of joy, a kiddo who had medical challenges with epilepsy and other things, but Audrey was just incredibly joyful, and the center was really a place that she was able to connect and make friends and had such a rich community there, and it's something that we're really thankful for.
My son Hudson was diagnosed with autism in 2021. Then when we came into the center, Hudson just Took to it immediately. It's his favorite place to be. There was a study that was done by the Center for Disease Control back in 2020, and the results of that study said that 1 in 36 children in this country are going to be diagnosed with some form of autism. That's a lot of kids, and it's a lot of families. And if those families are anything like my family, they didn't know where to go. We are a non-judgmental space for families who are affected by autism or special needs.
It's so helpful to go into a place where we can talk to other parents and say, like, well, what did you do in your child's bedroom to make sure that they could sleep well and be safe? And, you know, how did you manage these things? Or where to get your child's haircut if they're really uncomfortable getting a haircut? You know, there's just so many little questions. For us as parents, just having the opportunity to ask those questions and hear from other parents about what their experiences were and get advice.
But my favorite part about being at the center is the relationships that I've been able to build with superheroes and their families. I refer to them as superheroes because it's not just people and kiddos who have autism diagnoses that walk into the center. There's a plethora of special needs that walk into the center. Telling somebody they're a superhero makes a really big impact in their lives, whether they can communicate it or not.
Most children, when they walk in the door, and Audrey was no exception, they love it. They walk in, and I think one of the things that's really special is it's a space that's truly made just for them. One of the things the Superhero Center does is offers sibling events as well, and opportunities for siblings to receive that support. And so Hannah also really connected. She went to some sibling events where they just do special things. You know, they play games together, or they might go do something out in the community together, and it's really just creates a community of support for kids that kind of fit into this unique group.
Honestly, I think the #1 service we provide is that a family that is newly diagnosed or maybe hasn't even been diagnosed yet, but they know something is going on, they're concerned, they're scared, they come to our center, they see happy families. And they see all of us playing with our kids and having a wonderful time in this sort of non-judgmental space, and they know there's a place, there's some place for them.
College of Medicine started in 1971 by a group of physicians who saw a need in the community, a need to grow physicians to stay in Rockford.
And we were doing stuff in the community, but I think we had a responsibility to do much more. We ramped up dramatically, and over the last 10 years, we've built into the culture of our medical school that we exist to make this community better.
Merit has been in the community since 2008, and we see children who have been suspected of being physically or sexually abused.
Nowadays, we evaluate 400 kids. We evaluate the kids, we help the children, we work with law enforcement. We hope for a day that that's not needed, but in the meantime, the College of Medicine has stood up to do that, and we're so proud of that. Came to COVID, there was a dramatic need not only for testing, but to get the test done on a rapid basis.
We first contracted with the National Guard, and you may remember the National Guard stood up a drive-through center. That lasted for maybe 5-6 months.
We tested 45,000 members of our community. One day we had over 1,000. We set up a lab, what's called the PCR lab. And with that PCR lab, we ran almost 440,000 specimens, and almost every one we got done in 24 hours. It just helped our community to thrive and to respond to the COVID epidemic.
UIC is a really good institution that practices what they preach. Students on each of the 3 campuses are very involved in their communities. I think it's so great that we have a medical school here in town and that we are connected to some of the local school systems, and we are able to tutor them and mentor them a little bit. Sometimes it's just fun little activities like teaching them how to wash their hands under those glow lights that show you all the germs.
I wanted them to understand that as being a physician, you'd have a responsibility to your patients, but your responsibilities go beyond that. You're not expected just to be in your office or just to be in the hospital. But we want our students to become community leaders. We want them to be able to address issues and go beyond what the typical scope of a physician might have been in the past.
So, for the past 45 years, the community of Rockford has gathered once a year to honor a local organization that makes Rockford a better place. The very first Excelsior Award was presented to the Illinois Growth Enterprises in 1979 for its work with people with disabilities. In the years that followed, the Excelsior Award was presented to other organizations, groups that work with children, with the homeless, the hungry, the hurting, along with groups that help Rockford celebrate, cherish, and nurture the greatness within our community through charity, arts, education, and advocacy. The 2024 Excelsior Award finalists are organizations that build on that legacy. One of this year's finalists is a place that dares our children to explore, dream, and learn, and is named among the best children's museums in the United States. Another of this year's finalists has graduated more than 2,000 physicians since opening in 1975, while providing much needed healthcare services throughout the community. And another finalist is credited with creating a place where children with autism and their families can come together to play, to support one another, and to thrive. The winner of this year's Excelsior Award is an organization that truly makes a difference in the Rockford community. When the coronavirus pandemic arrived in 2020, the University of Illinois College of Medicine Rockford played a key role in fighting the disease across the region. The school set up a testing center on campus, and at the height of the pandemic was testing 1,000 people a day for COVID-19. As healthcare organizations struggle to attract and retain physicians, our community has a partner in the University of Illinois College of Medicine Rockford, providing healthcare services while educating healthcare professionals who help bring innovation and expertise to the Rockford area. Please join me in congratulating the University of Illinois College of Medicine Rockford, winner of the 2024 Excelsior Award.
Wow. I am incredibly honored to accept the 2024 Excelsior Award on behalf of the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Rockford. And I'm so delighted to have all my colleagues here with me today. To be in a group with the other two finalists, the Discovery Center and the Superman Center for Autism, is humbling. And I'd like to take a second just to acknowledge those two incredible organizations. Our school was established in the early 1970s to increase the number of physicians practicing in the area. And boy, have we been successful. We've graduated over 2,000 physicians, many of whom practice here in Winnebago County. And I would dare say the vast majority of people in this room are being taken care of by one of those physicians. We have made groundbreaking, world-changing scientific discoveries, such as the Shingrix vaccine, recommended by the CDC for all adults over the age of 50 to prevent shingles, which is an incredibly debilitating and incapacitating disease, and it is used around the world. And we are on the cusp of releasing 2 new vaccines, one to prevent heartworm in dogs, and the other to prevent lymphatic filariasis, elephantiasis, which affects 50 million people in the world, with 1 billion people in 50 countries at risk. And it's a debilitating disease, and it's a disease where the people get ostracized. And finally, through our Miles Square LP Johnson Center, we take care of thousands of individuals each year with state-of-the-art medical care for those individuals who might be economically challenged. Underlying everything we do is a fierce determination and dedication to service. Integrated into our DNA is a commitment to being the place where the community turns to and can expect leadership to tackle complex healthcare issues, be it COVID-19, be it child abuse, be it working in the jails, Winnebago County Jail, where we take care of 700 individuals 24/7 to make sure that their health is what it needs to be, and recently to combine 4 organizations in our community to train social workers to address the mental health crisis. This is what our commitment is. I want to recognize our full-time faculty, our 500 volunteer community physicians, 500, our staff members, and our students. And a heartfelt thank also goes to the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois, Rockford Registrar, and the NIU Center for Nonprofit Excellence. In closing, I want to share how proud and honored I am to lead the College of Medicine. The UIC College of Medicine Rockford will continue to train great doctors, provide outstanding clinical care, discover new medical breakthroughs, and at its heart, be a steadfast leader in the community in addressing our healthcare needs. Thank you so much.
So I have the great good fortune to come up and introduce the Excalibur Award. The Excalibur Award recognizes an individual whose life embodies service above self. It honors someone who gives back in extraordinary ways and devotes significant personal time, energy, and talent to improving our communities. The winner of the very first Excalibur Award in 1971 was Bill O'Donnell. Bill was a businessman and a philanthropist and a pilot. He was a sailor and a hot air balloonist. He built roads, ramps, and bridges. But the title that resonated the most with people who knew Bill was he was the great connector. He was famous for bringing people together from different walks of life and encouraging them to work for the betterment of Rockford as a whole. Bill O'Donnell was the first Excalibur Award recipient, and so began a legacy of honoring someone each year who did as Bill did, or did in their own way for the good of others of the community. And tonight's finalists do just that. Whether it's an experienced leader who works tirelessly to give every student in Rockford an opportunity to reach the next step in their educational journey, or a mother who turned her grief into joy for hundreds of young adults across the country, or a community leader who found his calling through participating as a young man at the very programs he supports now. The 2024 Excalibur finalists represent some of the very best of what this community has to offer in leadership and public service. And here are the stories of tonight's 3 finalists.
Elaine Breck, she is, I would say she's a force.
That assessment of Elaine Breck is likely shared by many in the community.
Politely relentless is how I describe her approach.
That approach has earned Elaine a reputation as someone who can get things done.
When someone, it's always someone else, gives me an idea, and if it's an idea that lights a spark in me, I have been given the gift to take that idea and figure out and think through how to make it big and how to make it happen.
She's proven her ability to make it happen countless times over the years. When Elaine comes across an idea she supports, there's no stopping her.
She is a very sweet lady, but you can tell she has a very determined energy. She's very focused on her goals when she sets her sights on something. You can see that she's the kind of person who's going to make it happen, and she's not going to be denied.
Elaine started her career in Rockford developing new programs for Swedish American Hospital. When there was a lack of prenatal services for young moms in the community, she established the Moms Health Consortium with all 3 local hospitals and community partners. Elaine then took over the Hunger Connection Food Bank, where she served as executive director. But out of the many organizations and boards she's worked with over the years, there's one project she's most proud of.
Rockford Promise, because that's the legacy program. That's the program that's going to stay and it's going to reach its full potential to help this community.
Rockford Promise was founded in 2006 by a small group of advocates, including Elaine. She remembers her reaction after learning about a paid tuition program and how it could transform a community.
Yeah, Rockford needs this.
Elaine admits Rockford Promise took years to gain momentum, but that only made her work harder.
She was passionate when describing Rockford Promise's potential to positively impact the city of Rockford.
Elaine saw the big picture and the power of giving full tuition scholarships.
My passion for Rockford Promise was because what it could do for the students and then their families and then their community.
Thank you for your hard work through, I think, many tough years. And before Rockford Promise gained the momentum that it has now, thank you for all the work you did to kind of get us to that point, to having the vision, having the courage, to see us through those tough times, and to thank you for always, putting your heart out there to the community.
Antonio Ramirez Jr. is the Community Education and Outreach Coordinator at Alignment Rockford, a position that suits him.
You know, it's a job, but it isn't a job because I love doing this type of work. It's connecting individuals, connecting resources, businesses, and really just giving young people and families a brighter future.
Ramirez says there was a time in his life when he needed that same kind of help, and the people with comprehensive community solutions and Youth Build were there for him.
The love that the organization also showed, they didn't know me, they didn't know my struggles, but they saw something in me and they said, you know, we're gonna help you through this. You know, you're gonna be a father, we're gonna help you through this.
Because of that life-changing support, Antonio has made it his mission to give back to the community. For years, he served in various roles with Youth Build, going so far as to working with Youth Build Global.
That's what Antonio represents for me, that you don't need to be defined by your circumstances, but by who you are today and who you can be in the future, and that you can stay in your community and make a difference.
Antonio continues to make a difference volunteering on a number of boards and working with various community groups, including the YMCA of Rock River Valley and the Rockford Park District.
He brings people together, right? And they have fun at the same time. So who wouldn't like to go somewhere like Domingos en el Parque, hear some good music, have some good food, and at the same time have people there that provide information for the community that people need.
That commitment to serving the community comes from an overwhelming feeling of gratitude.
They stepped up, and so for me, when you help me, like, I have to return the favor. And so that's all I've been doing, is returning the favor.
Antonio uses his own life journey as an example to help others.
As a community together, we're stronger. And Mr. Antonio, like, he provides that connection for us.
In his senior year of high school, Nick Ritschel received a devastating blow. He was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer.
The one thing that put a smile back on his face was a wish from Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish Foundation grants wishes to seriously ill children up to age 17. While at a cancer treatment center, Nick met Nate, an 18-year-old fellow patient who became a friend.
And I can still hear him busting through the door at the Children's Inn. Mom, we gotta do something. Nate missed out on Make-A-Wish, we gotta help. And at the time, I was trying to save his life.
The night before Nick passed, he asked his mom to help other young people with cancer have a wish too. Kelly established the Nicholas Ritschel Foundation. With the help of friends and family, Nick's wish began with a fundraiser.
We raised enough for 5 wishes, and the very first wish was Nate's. And that was 370 wishes ago.
She's an inspiration, not just to me, not to just her friends or the volunteers, but I think she's an inspiration to the Rockford community.
For the past 13 years, Kelly and a team of dedicated volunteers have been fulfilling Nick's wish, bringing joy to patients in 38 states.
How she does it to be the executive director of Nick's Wish, as well as working a full-time job as an upper-level manager in a private sector. How she does all that. She claims she sleeps, but I have no idea when.
Kelly says granting wishes to young adults and seeing the happiness they bring reminds her that Nick's idea was a great one.
I told you, Mom. And he was right. You know, in the beginning, I did this because Nick asked me. But now I do it because of why Nick asked me. He knew that they need hope.
Are we ready? Okay. I'll always remember covering my first Excalibur Excelsior Awards. It was a night that everyone at the Register-Star looked forward to each year because it was a night we were able to be part of something truly special, shining a spotlight on people who are the heart and soul of our community, people who step up to the plate time and time again for the betterment of our community and the people who call it home. The Excalibur Award is in its 54th year. We've come a long way, recognizing and thanking some of our community's greatest leaders. And yet we still have a long way to go. Tonight, we honor 3 area residents who are making a difference in our community and the lives of so many around them. Whether it's a life of service through dozens of nonprofits and boards, a commitment to underprivileged youth, or traveling around the country, granting wishes to cancer patients, this year's Excalibur finalists represent how a single person can leave such a big mark on an entire community. Like previous winners, the winner of the 2024 Excalibur Award is someone driven by what they believe. So much so that their work and their lives are one and the same. They lead, mentor, and collaborate, never losing sight of who they are and where they came from. Comprehensive Community Solutions, Youth Build, Alignment Rockford, the Boys and Girls Club, YMCA of Rock River Valley, United at Peace, Domingos on El Parque, the Ethnic Heritage Museum, South Main Mercado Cultura Fest, La Voz Latina, and the Coalition of Latino Leaders are just some of the organizations this year's winner is involved with. Yet, when he learned he was a finalist for this year's award, he said he still had so much more work to do. He spoke about a bigger mission. He spoke about making sure he does enough in his lifetime, so he has no regrets that he could have done more, especially for the people and children of Southwest Rockford. It is my honor to invite Antonio Ramirez Jr., the winner of the 2024 Excalibur Award, to stage to accept this award.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh my God. Son, you want to do my speech? One of the reasons I kicked off the work I do in this community, knowing I was going to become a father for the first time. Now before you, my 24-year-old son, a teacher at Lincoln Middle School, a school that I went to. Man, where to start? I got my 2-minute speech apparently. Can we add 2 more if I translate it in Spanish? I might need that. No, thank you. I'm gonna start with thank yous first. It's been one. Thank you to the Community Foundation, Rockford Register Star, Nickney for this opportunity, this great night. This award is very prestigious. I've had mentors that have helped me over the years that have won this award, and just being nominated off the bat was great to know that, my work's being seen by others. Thank you for those that nominated me and were part of the nomination. Jesus, gracias, mi amigo. Big brother, as he's seen me grow up through my elementary through high school years, actually, so thank you. Also, just want to give my utmost respect and admiration for the other nominees. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you. It was very, for the committee, wow, it was a tough one. I would have been like, man, who do we go with, right? This was great nominees. Great work you all are doing. And how did I get here? Wow. In front of me, I have my mom and my aunt. Also was able to join me. And that's how I got here. A lot of the work that I do, I always dig into what my family calls me and close friends that know my nickname growing up. I'll start with that. My nickname is Toñito, Little Tony. And so I dig into that. What did little Tony need? What was it that he had experienced? What did his family experience? And my parents came from Nayarit, Mexico, to a new world and wanted a better future for themselves, but also for their children. And that's what they provided me and my siblings. Great future opportunities. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I think about their hardships. I think about who came to support them, who came to help our family. And as we were growing up here in Rockford, on South Church near the Ethnic Heritage Museum, I still remember when my mom would walk us down to take lunch to my dad to the Barron Company just off of Morgan. And, we would meet people that, I know would help our family here, We had the Noble Pharmacy. My family didn't know about doctors or taking us to, get medicines, and Noble Pharmacy was there for us. So I started thinking about who and what helped us. And so that's what I put my work into. Just being able to bring the resources, the connections that some of our families need and they don't know that are out there. Because my mom and my dad, they figured it out. And I know they wanted more for us. They wanted to do what they could, but they also had to work, And during that time, I made some, teenage decisions as a hard-headed kid that, weren't the best. But I also learned from those experiences. Through tragedies and hardships, I made it my strength, and I also look for peace. That's why we created United at Peace. That's why my work, I try to be as peaceful as I can, because I know tomorrow's never promised, and I could go on, and those that know me know that my life was tough, and I know I had to make it count, and I still got to continue to make it count. That's why you're going to continue to see me. I appreciate the award. I don't do it for the awards, the recognition. I do it because I know it's the right thing. two of the main quotes that I always hold on to in my mind. It was quite funny because this summer, or before this summer, I had a meet with Armando, who's also last year's award recipient. Aplauso para Armando. He didn't know at the time, but I had to meet with him at his office, and like I always look at signs throughout my life. Am I going right? Am I doing what I'm supposed to? My purpose, I'm still looking for my final purpose, but I'm still here working. But something that I recognized in his office was a quote that I always have in my mind, and that was the quote that's been driving me, and that's leadership is not a position, it's about action. And that's something that I've taken on since I seen that quote 24 years ago. And he had the same exact frame that I found at Walmart in his office. Except mine is all deteriorated, and my son wanted to throw it the other day. I'm like, no, you gotta leave that. I might have to go get Armando's. I can't find it anymore. And the other quote was, be the change you wanna see in the world. And I've always kept those in mind, because I do. I know I'm not gonna complain if I can't do my part. And that's all I've been doing, trying to show not only my community, but young people, you are the future now, you are the future tomorrow. We need to continue to grow each other. We need to support our community. But I also do it with heart. I love my community, I love my family, I love myself, but I want to make sure that everybody gets that love somehow. If it's through an organization, if it's through a leader, if it's through a mentor, resources that are available, I look for that. And again, I don't do this for the recognition. Some people have told me over the years, you're crazy. You're giving your time for all of this, and what do you get out of it? I see the full circle moments a lot. One of those actually surprised me up today. One of my former achievers came out of Chicago, who also helped lead my oldest son, and just knowing and seeing her future, like knowing what she's doing, and she's here today. The people that I've run into today is the greatest thing. But I also want to give a huge, huge thank you. My family's been my backbone, but more importantly, my wife, Araceli, thank you. She would tell me, you're crazy a lot. Why? But she allowed me to live up my dream and continue to support young people and families. And she's been there, and she supported my crazy ideas. And being there also for a lot of the events that I do, and supporting me where she knows that I might be lacking with support. So thank you to my family, also to all my volunteers, mi gente, mi familia que está aquí en este cuarto. Un aplauso para ustedes. Gracias. Mi mamá, mi tía, mi papá. Muchas gracias a todos. Gracias por esta noche. Y we gotta keep working, y'all. So if you want to be a part of something, give me a call.
Well, I don't know how we follow that up, but I promise I'll be brief. I have found over the years that I sound far more eloquent than someone else when someone else writes my words, and tonight was no different. So thanks to Karina Curry. But she put in here, and I quote, add some mushy sentiment. So I'm going off script for a minute, and so you'll have to bear with me. It's cold out, so I know no one's in a hurry to get outside. First and foremost, I want to say a huge congratulations to the finalists and the winners. So I spoke a few minutes ago about the difficult process that our selection committee had, and that was the understatement of the century. There is not a person that was nominated, a finalist, or a winner that shouldn't have won. I have had the good fortune of working closely with a number of our finalists and with a number of the winners. Just last weekend, I got to go on a wish delivery with Nick's Wish, and I will tell you, it was a life-changing experience for me. So I am thrilled for everyone that was nominated tonight and everyone that won. Have to say several thank yous. One, the folks at the Prairie Street Brew House. They were fantastic to work with. For those of you that were here last year, it was a little squishy. I hope this felt a little bit more spread out, and so we're thankful for them. Have to say a very special thank you to the Community Foundation Board of Directors, a number of which are in the room tonight. You got a chance to, yeah, that's worth a clap. You got a chance to hear from our board chair a little bit earlier, but I distinctly remember the conversation a couple of years ago when we came and said, we'd like to help be a part of Excalibur and Excelsior, and it wasn't a, hey, you're nuts, it was what can we do to make it happen. I am deeply grateful for the support that our board gives us on a daily basis to help us do the work we do. Sorry. I have to say a big thank you to our team. I am blessed every day to work with some of the most amazing people. And this is all on account of them. For those of you that know me, it has been a very interesting year in my life. And I cannot imagine having walked that without this group of people. I have to say a special thank you to Jennifer Smith, who really has been the brains, the energy, the creativity, the drive behind the success and beauty of these events. I'm very, very grateful. So I promise I'm getting back on script now. So I also want to thank our sponsors once again. We can't do this without you. This is a gift to the community that we wanted to give, and we can only do that with the help of our sponsors. It's important to us that this event remains free. Tonight is about celebrating the best of our communities and not turning the event into a fundraiser. We feel very fortunate to have a robust and generous slate of sponsors, the majority of which are here with us tonight. Their names, including that of our presenting sponsor, Schmanley Construction, are on the screen, so please join me in thanking them again. So I will close with saying I hope to see y'all again in a year. Nominations for the 2025 awards will open up on 815 Day, August 15, 2025, and the awards ceremony will be held December 11th, 2025. And so I wish you all an amazing holiday season. Drive safe and have a wonderful night. Wonderful night.